Hi, FlossTube. It's Sarah. What a few weeks it's been. I haven't been on and recorded. It's been a little crazy, as you are all aware. But mostly the reason I haven't been on to record is that I just really don't have a lot that I can share with you. I have done some stuff, but I can't. Like I've done some secret stitching, for like presents and stuff, and I've done some design work. I know it shocks me too. I never thought that I would be interested in design, but last time I was on here, I was talking about Antique Pattern Library, and I had an idea for a little small sampler kind of motif thing I wanted to do by pulling some of the stuff from there. Um, but I want it to be stitched up before I share it with y'all because I don't want to share it if it looks terrible. But I'm pretty excited about it, and I have other ideas, and so yeah, I know that stuff there is all public domain, and then there's like, I don't quite understand all of the licensing as far as like Creative Commons 4 and how that applies to the public domain stuff. I do realize that I also use some of the stuff that was charted by somebody from public domain images. I don't know. I'm kind of confused on it. So, but I figure for what I'm doing, especially for myself, it's fine. I know the Creative Commons license allows me to offer it for free. Now, I'm not sure if that's just the scans or if that's the material within it. I'm a little shy about copyright law, but if I like it, I might offer it as a freebie, just to see if any of y'all are interested in stitching it too. I'm pretty excited about it, and like I said, I have some other ideas too. I've been working on some stuff. I'm just using the free trial of WinStitch to chart everything out. I haven't bought it yet. That is a thing I would like to do at some point. Sorry, there's a wasp flying around, and I was trying to determine if it was inside or outside, but it is outside. My husband is allergic to wasps, so, and I've already had 2 in the house this week, so just trying to make sure. Let's see. So yeah, not a lot to share. I did want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the world right now. Right now, my life really hasn't changed that much. The last time I left my house was last Tuesday, so St. Patrick's Day. I'm going to have to go out this weekend and get groceries. That's honestly not that odd for me. I'm a homebody. I like to stay and do stuff. My weekend's going to be a little weird, for 2 reasons. I'm celebrating my 20th anniversary with my husband tomorrow, and obviously we're doing that by staying home. And we were supposed to have a family retreat weekend that's done after spring break every year down in Arkansas, and that's been canceled. So we're staying home. Everybody else in my family is staying home, and I'm gonna miss everybody this weekend. I'm sad about it, but also, like I said, I'm a homebody, and it's not odd for me to go for a week and a half and not leave the house. My husband's still working. He works in healthcare, so he's still going in. He's not frontline or anything like that. And this area hasn't been hit real hard either. Our state hasn't had any sort of lockdown order or shelter at home, even though we are choosing to do so as much as possible. Like I said, I'm going to the grocery store, but that's the only thing I'm doing this weekend. The rest of the time I will be sitting at home stitching or reading or watching TV, or maybe hopefully playing some games with my family. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I've got to go get groceries so we can eat, because it's been a week and a half since I've got groceries, and I did not do a huge stock up. I don't know that I could have. Our grocery shelves were so, I mean, even last Tuesday, they were just bare. I was able to get some stuff. I was definitely able to get enough stuff that we probably could go a little bit longer, but I'd rather go on the weekend and not have to try to deal with it during the work week when my husband's at work and all that. We are only 1 car, so we have to kind of make all of that work. So yeah, my life's not that different right now, at least. We'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, there's always a chance of a lockdown at the hospital. There's a chance that because he's not frontline, patients aren't coming in for the type of tests that he does. He works in radiology, so my future is uncertain. But right now, everything's pretty much the same. I won't say that I'm not anxious about things, because I certainly am. But just trying trying not to fixate on the news. That's the hardest thing right now. It's real hard for me not to just spend all day scrolling my phone looking at for any sort of new information. But that's not healthy for me. It really puts me into a spiral. So I'm trying to pick up stitching a little bit more. Like I said, I've been kind of not done a lot. I have done some, and like I said, some stuff I can't share, but I'll go ahead and kind of talk about the things that I have done over the last few weeks. I think my last video was the beginning of March. So yeah, I had my March 20th start, which was, I think I talked about this a little bit my last time. It is Possibilities of Eeveelution's Rainbow Max Color. This is a HAED. Walking Melons, I think. Yeah, Walking Melons is the artist. And that is what it will look like. This was started on my daughter's 19th birthday. So yeah, that was exciting. She got to stay home. But we had talked about maybe going to St. Louis to celebrate her birthday, but that didn't happen. This is also represents my only haul since the last time I saw y'all was this piece of 28 count even weave that I am stitching this on. It'll be 1/1, and I am out of focus. Let's see. I have not a huge start. Right there, 140 stitches. I do want to grid this because I'm wanting to try to do color complete cross country, not by largest to smallest, smallest to largest, anything like that. I'm starting top left corner and going left to right, top to bottom, in just whatever order they are. So my first color is black. There are 8,000 plus stitches, I think, of the black. So I will be working on that color. So until I get the materials to grid, I'm probably not going to pick this one back up, but I did get the start on her birthday, which was kind of important to me because it was my 20th of each month start anyway, and then that was her birthday, so I really wanted to make sure I started that one on that. I did try to grid it with the sulky that I showed last time, the sulky silver metallic, and that just fell. I'm not going to go after it, hopefully. If the cats start trying to, they're not paying any attention to me right now, but if I have one start noticing it, I'll go pick it up. But right now it can stay there. It's flat, and if it lays flat, it's fine. It works really great, but when it has a tendency to twist and be up on its side, and when it's on its side, you can't see it, and it's not going to really help. So I'm going to either get some orange monofilament or a different color of metallic. I don't know yet what, and it's not high priority. Like I said, I just really wanted to start it on her birthday. I have lots of stuff to work on, so that was my little start for this month. It's a big start. It was a small start on a big project. How's that? But which maybe by the time she retires from work, I'll have it finished. I'm a slow stitcher, guys, and I work on a lot of stuff, so it is what it is. I have 2 projects that I've worked on that I can show you. I'm sorry, I did not think to take anything out of bags or unzip bags or anything like that. I think I shared this one with y'all last time too. This is called Sleepy Kitten. Let me get the information here. I've got this all in here. It is Sleepy Kitten by Claire Comerford. It's from the World of Cross Stitching February 2016 issue. This is what I am stitching for my sister-in-law. There we go. So I've been doing a lot of work up here on the daisies. Hoping to get that finished this weekend, all the daisy part. So this is where I'm at right now. I think last time I basically just had, I was trying to make sure I had enough space to get everything. And this is not the bottom, but I was able to stitch down far enough to realize that I'm fine on space. So there's my start on that. Or not my start, my progress. Okay, next is Mushroom House. Let's see if I can find the cover sheet, because like I said, I did not think to actually do that. It is by, I downloaded this off of mybobbin.com. It was a PDF download somewhere. It's Ekaterina something. I'm sorry, I did not, but it's just called Mushroom House. I will link it down below. I will also link, or make a note on the magazine issue that Sleepy Kitten is on, and I will link the Eeveelutions cross stitch as well. I try to link, especially if it's something that's digital, or yeah, if it's something that's digital that you can just buy and download, you don't have to go like a cross stitch store or online store to order. Sorry, I'm a mess today, guys. I'm sorry if I'm rambling and all of that. So yeah, that's really all I have that I can show you that I've worked on. I do have other stuff to talk about, though. Of course I do. I'm excited about this. So the kind of the movement that's happened lately with the Be Well and Stitch hashtag, that if I'm understanding it correctly, this was started, I'm out of focus again. It was an idea dreamt up by Cecilia Turner of, I'm always afraid I'm going to mess it up, Hand and Heart, I believe is the name of her design company. I have a pattern by her somewhere here that has disappeared, and I'm sad about it. I would like to stitch it. It had some specialty floss too, and as you know, I don't typically stitch with specialty floss, but we had bought that for my daughter to do because she was excited about it, and then she's not really that excited about cross stitch, as we've talked about before. So somewhere I have that hiding, and it has not shown up in my organizing of my cross stitch stuff. Oh, if you notice, I'm in my old recording spot because I didn't have a whole lot that I had to drag out, and my husband has we're tabletop gamers. I talk about that a lot. I'll have a game at the end of this video, but he's kind of got the table taken over with his miniature painting stuff, so I've just decided it would be easier for me to just come in here than try to push stuff around to be able to film in there, since I have so little. But yeah, so segue. So Cecilia Turner, Sue Hillis, and Barbara Keepsakes, I believe, were the people who came up with this Be Well and Stitch hashtag. The idea being that needlework designers could create charts to distribute for free to people who are stranded at home or stitching for stress release or whatever. And at the same time, people who are stitching these would hopefully order online fabric and floss and whatever they need in order to finish them, to help kind of support the needlework stores through this time. I unfortunately don't have extra money that I can spend. I rarely do. This is not a new thing. It goes through phases, and when I have money, I spend it at local stores, and when I don't, I don't. It's just it's a thing that happens. And I started thinking about what I could do, and because I want to stitch them, and I have a very limited supply of fabric. I have what's left in this tube. It's like a kind of a light green Aida. I could probably get a couple of things out of that, and then a lot of these are just small little remnants, but that's 30-ish pieces of fabric there, plus this. So my thought is, I am going to try to stretch this fabric stash out the best I can, start a new one of these Be Well and Stitch projects each day of April. And I'm going to call it the Be Well and Stich SAL, or hashtag BWASSAL, or Wassel, I guess. So that'll be the Instagram hashtag if you are interested in it. I will link my Instagram down below so that you can follow me there, and then hopefully you'll be able to see the hashtag. I also posted about it in 24 Hours of Cross Stitch because I know we like challenges and we like things like that, so I thought that was a good place on Facebook. I don't have a lot of cross stitch friends on Facebook, and that just seemed like the group I wanted to share it in. And last time I checked, there were a couple of people that had commented on it. So, you know, even if it's just me and one other person doing this, I'm excited about it. My idea is that because I don't have the money to spend now, I'm going to use up my stash so that when I have the money, I can justify buying more. So that makes it easier for me if I'm out of fabric for me to go buy more this summer when the needle workshops will still need my support, and I can justify it easier for myself. Because I've talked about this, I don't have a lot of space, so I can't have just a huge stash of stuff, and you know, I'm on a budget just like a lot of us are. So that was my idea. If you're interested in joining us, I will link that hashtag down below as well. I will also be working on my normal stuff, the projects that I'm working on for myself. I still want to do some of those mania projects. I think I may have finished a couple of those since my last video. I'm not sure. I didn't think to check that. But it's been a while since I've worked on it. It's been a couple of weeks at least since I've even worked on it. So, but I'd still like to work on some of those. I'd still like to work from some of the small little patterns that they have on the Eeveelution app. So my hair is just a complete mess. I started this with completely wet hair, and now it's already drying, and it's starting to fly away. But it is. Obviously, I have not got a haircut yet, and it's probably not going to happen anytime soon unless I take up my husband's offer of letting him cut it, which I might, because if we're still in the situation in a month, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to deal with this. I'm not a patient person. Yeah. Oh, let me show y'all this. This is kind of a setup. I had an overhead light. It broke, and it didn't. I get migraines, and the light, I think, was causing some of those migraines just because it was shining from up above, and it broke anyway. So we just put it out at the trash, and I just got this little $10. Sorry, it's plugged in. $10 light that does the 3 different colors and 3 different brightness levels. And sorry, I attach it to this cane like this, and I sit here, and this is my stitching spot, and that's bright enough that I can see my fabric. I throw on a pair of readers if I need it, if I'm working with like a small count, and that's how I stitch. So you get to see my stitching spot at least. This is a new thing since the last time I recorded in here, because I still have that overhead light over there, and this works really well because I'm left-handed, but I stitch right-handed, so this works because I was noticing that my hand was blocking the light up here, and I couldn't put it over there because it would have been between mine and my husband's chair, and the light just shined real bad from the TV from his vantage point. So I always kept it on this side. This one's not as bad. So that's my stitching setup. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I guess all I have left is the game. Like I said, I hadn't worked on a whole bunch of stuff. I feel like I'm really rambly this time. I'm having a really hard time with focus, so just bear with me. Hopefully, I don't know why I say I'm going to do weekly videos, because apparently I'm terrible at it, and I'd really like to do daily videos like Eeveelution Stitch is doing with her March Madness, or you know, I know she's had a few days where she's missed, but she's still recording really often, but where I share what I've started each day and all of that. We'll see. I'd like to do that, even if it's only like a 10-minute video every day or something like that. I'll have to think on that, but I really like that idea. It's going to depend a lot too on what my husband's days look like. Obviously weekends are harder because he's home. When he's at work, it's easy for me to come in and do, but we'll see what happens. The game I'm going to share with you, this is called Rolling Japan. There is another version that's more readily available here called Rolling America. This is the original. It is by Hisashi Hayashi. This is one of my daughter's favorite designers, board game designers, but it is a roll and write game. So think Yahtzee's probably the most famous roll and write game. The basic idea is you roll dice and then you write stuff down. With this one, you roll dice and everybody uses those dice, as opposed to Yahtzee where you're only rolling for yourself. There is a little draw pouch. You will reach in, you will draw out 2 dice. They will be 2 different colors. This one is a red, this one is a purple. We're not going to use the purple right now. We're going to show a green. So this one is a red, this one is a green. It comes with little pencils. And you have a pad of Japan. This is Japan. Rolling America, obviously, it's based more on what the United States looks like. I have played that, but we do not own it. So these first two color numbers come up. I roll the dice. I get a green 5 and a red 2. So in the green, I will write a 5. In the red, I will write a 2. If you've already got a number in one of the adjoining blocks, it can only go up or down by 1 or be the same number. So you can't place a 2 next to a 5. You also can't place a 1 next to a 6. It doesn't roll around. It is, if you've got a 6, you have to place a 5 or a 6. So you'll get to, as you start playing, you'll get to where the numbers are a lot tighter. And if you can't place one of the dice, so say this was pretty full and there was no way you could place that red 2, you would put an X in any space. I think. I don't think it has to be a red space. I could be wrong about that. But you would place an X down on your sheet. The purple die is a wild. So then you could use this to count for any color if that's what's rolled. You take turns rolling, but like I said, when something's rolled, like the green 5 and the red 2, everybody writes the same thing down. So everybody's got the exact same dice the whole game. And then there are places where you can do color changes. So say I had rolled that green 2 and I had the perfect place to put it on the red, or a green red, and red 2, and I had the perfect place to put it on a green. I could do a color change. You can do that 3 times in a game, and basically just change the color of that die. You mark off your rounds. Basically, the person who has the least number of X's wins. So the least number of spaces that were not able to be filled in. And that's the game. You take turns rolling. Basically, there's 7 dice. You roll 2 until there's only 1 die left in, and then everything goes back. So things don't go back into the bag until there's only 1 die left. And then all the dice go back into the bag, and you start over, and you just go around clockwise until all of the rounds are done. There's 8 rounds. There's got a place here that you can track that down. This plays infinitely, which means that you could play this with 100 people if you had 100 pieces of this paper, and everybody can play. It's almost like a solitaire game, but then there's a score at the end. So unlike Yahtzee, it would take a long time for 100 people to roll their dice and get back to you. This one scales infinitely, which is nice. Great for a big group of people, which obviously that's not what we're doing right now, but it's also great for a few people. Definitely I've played this 3 people and it works just as well. So that is the game. Rolling Japan, or like I said, you can look for Rolling America. I know that I have seen Rolling America at Target. You should be able to find it online. I'm assuming it's still available. I haven't looked for it recently, but yeah, it's the same game. Fun. I like it. I like Rolling Rides a lot. So yeah, that is what I have to share with you today. Trying to think if there's, felt like I was going to make notes and then I didn't, and it was probably a mistake. I will put those hashtags down in the bottom, the Well and Stich, the SAL that I'm going to be doing. I would love to know if you're going to join in with me, if you have any interest in that. Just let me know in the comments. Other than that, I hope y'all all stay safe and well, and that y'all are getting some good stitchy time during all of this. And we'll see you next time. Have a good day. Bye.